when you mentioned the Tesla, because this next vignette is very much about showing what's possible when we use this whole sort of string of technology to create really a real-time data-driven system. And I have Mark Gamble here who's going to show off basically what we're going to do here.
Excellent. Thanks, you guys. We're actually really proud of this. I mean, you can already see some of the evidence on screen of what we've been able to accomplish, but the magic is what's really going on behind the scenes. So we wanted to harness the power of IoT, the Internet of Things, which obviously is based on devices that collect data. And our inspiration, in fact, was one of our engineers who got a sensor, an OBD2 sensor for his car. It's called an onboard diagnostics device, and he has a Prius. And he's a big data fan too, so he wanted to collect data. And so he plugged this thing in and started collecting data. In fact, he's out driving around in the parking lot as we speak. We can see all of his metrics and amazing efficiency.
He was parked right there, now he's going again.
He's stopping for ice cream now. So really what's going on is this is being harnessed from this OBD2 device via an Android-based device that is actually also then streaming this data through message queuing protocol called MQTT, this Hive-based protocol. And it's very ubiquitous out there in the IoT world. This is kind of the go-to protocol to be able to stream information from these IoT-based devices. And then obviously, the streaming is going into BIRT-based visualizations that have been seamlessly embedded into a web page to create not just a dashboard, it's a real dashboard. I mean, it's just like what you would see in your car, and it's real time. It's also a good showcase of being able to embed these graphics that will respond to real-time information. So, of course, we also realized that you've probably seen...
What's that on your wrist, Mark?
You've probably seen real-time BIRT-based dashboards before. But when you start talking about IoT, and you start really thinking about the need to be nimble, to respond to this information that's happening in real time, coming from these devices, then we start to expand on this concept of visualizing this information out to even visualizing it on other devices. So I happen to actually be wearing a nice little device here, and I'm going to ask my
Tell us about that device, Mark. What are you wearing today, Mark?
This is a Galaxy Gear. Check under your seats. One lucky winner. Well, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. This is an Android device. These little things are very powerful, and they also pair up with other devices. So in fact, let's actually take a look at what this might look like if we were to see some of this information actually
so if you notice here, this is
from
the first practical application for the iPad right here.
Yes, right here.
So as we go in, let's see some of that same information. There we can see real streaming data.
Well, wait, Mark, is that a BIRT report
This
on your
is
watch?
a BIRT report on my watch, updating in real time.
Is that embedded or what?
This is pretty embedded. In fact, right to my wrist. So another thing is of course we can...
So wait, before you get all techie here, so there's a car, right?
There's a car. There is a car involved.
And there's a sensor in the car, right?
There's a sensor in the car that's representing this data.
Electromagnetic sensor?
Okay, you guys are you're leaving me behind.
And so the sensor is feeding data to an Android phone in that car.
That's right.
And then that data comes out of that phone via this mumbo jumbo thing you said that goes into the iHub.
Exactly. And then starts to actually stream this data out through MQTT. So, I mean, being able to display this data is one thing, but we also wanted to enable kind of the proactive features of these devices as well. So, Pierre, I don't know if the folks noticed it, but whenever we hit a certain threshold within any of our metrics, the device will actually throw an alert. And here we see some speed warnings.
So for my teenage drivers, I can put this in their car?
Move your wrist closer. Thank you.
Okay, and then when we open up any one of these, let's actually come over here, because of course we can actually click to see more details, but the details are a bit much for my smaller device.
Wait a second, did your watch just do something to your phone?
As a matter of fact.
And that's a BIRT report, isn't it?
That is a BIRT report. And in fact, let's go over to contact number 2. This just actually came up via live data, streamed through MQTT from our device into an alert in my watch, and when I hit show me more details, we actually get a real-time depiction of these metrics.
So I wouldn't be a good MC if I didn't do this right now.
Okay, so let's get this straight. Car to microelectromagnetic sensor.
Or MEMS.
Or MEMS. To phone, to BIRT, to your watch, into your phone.
Live.
Whoa. And it worked, guys.
Oh yes. And
now let's just say if you were
Prius.
here late last night, it wouldn't have necessarily worked exactly like that.
Yeah, he kept driving too fast, and you know. So we thought this was a great showcase. We were very proud of it. It came together really quickly, even late nights notwithstanding. It's the new APIs that really enabled us to take advantage of some of these new technologies that are becoming so popular out there. So IoT, wearables, real-time, embedded analytics, BIRT can do it all.
So how can I do this today?
Well,
We're going to ship
Alan.
our engineer from Kansas over and have him help you set up some of the...
Actually, Alan brings up a good point, though. Everything that you've seen today, including Gazetteer, this application, and several others, are going to be made available to customers of Actuate as sort of references, if you will, of proper ways to utilize these APIs. So it's not just for us, it's going to benefit all of you guys as a jump start for your own applications. And in fact, if we wanted to kind of tie some of this back in, we were thinking about, Sean, your application at the LA County Sanitation, where you're already using BIRT to kind of track some fleet vehicle maintenance. Imagine if you could actually put some of this real-time information on those vehicles, and then you'd be able to proactively maintain them as they incur the wear and tear. So we think this has a lot of potential. We're just scratching the tip of the iceberg.
Any questions for Mark or Pierre about this? Again, we think this is extremely cool. I haven't seen anything like this demonstrated anywhere else, so we think it's kind of unique as well. And as Mark said, it's a real live example of BIRT everywhere in a lot of ways. It's also a great use case for thinking about IoT, maybe in a more practical way, because I think some of you maybe are thinking, what's this Internet of Things? It's a smart refrigerator. It doesn't really apply to me. But I think just from this simple example, we can see that re-envisioning how we can gather and then display information on new devices in new ways can be pretty powerful, and also from a business perspective can be pretty exciting. So any questions for Mark or Pierre about this demonstration here? Right there.
So the API response is just a data, or it's an object of how you input and start?
It depends. It could be both. Either, whichever one you want it to be. So we provide both an API to fetch just data elements, and we also provide an API to allow you to pull down any of the visuals you've created in a BIRT Designer as well, in its form. So it's up to you. What do you want to use for your particular use case?
Other questions? And I'm glad we just put up this visual here. This is sort of a cartoon version of what you just saw here. So again, car to sensor, to an Android app, to this broker, to iHub, serving out alerts, serving out dashboards. Pretty cool.